Okay, everyone needs to acknowledge the recording by clicking the Got It button. And I want to welcome everyone to the September 13th, 2022 edition of Carlentini, Omaha and beyond. And we certainly have people all over the world with us tonight. I want to thank especially the new folks. The first newbie that came on, I guess, was Terry Gibalisco. How do you say the last name there?
Well, it's Bewig, unless you're from Alabama, and then it's Bewig, but it's Bewig. It's so German. It's German.
Where exactly are you?
I am about 25 miles outside of New Orleans in a little town, Louisiana.
Thibodeau?
No, Mandeville, Louisiana.
Oh, Mandeville. Okay.
Mandeville, yeah, French.
We're actually not too far apart. I'm in League City, Texas. So it's not too far for us to go to Louisiana from where we're at.
Come on down. We almost have our house repaired from Ida a year ago. So
wow.
We have guest rooms. Come on. We love having guests. Italian guests, all guests. Welcome.
All right, there you have it, folks.
That's right.
Okay, so let's see. Who else do we have that's new? Mary Betancourt was the second newbie to arrive. And she is, I think, pretty well known to Eleonora and perhaps even Juicy. I don't know if you guys met Juicy in Syracuse, but Mary was on the trip with Sherry and the rest of the group. So Mary, you're in California. Would you turn your microphone on, please?
Yes, I'm in California.
Where exactly in California are you?
Norwalk, California. It's Southern California.
Is that Los Angeles County?
Yes, on the edge, right on the edge of Los Angeles and Orange County.
Uh-huh. Okay, so it's on the southern edge of Los Angeles County.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have a daughter that lives there in Los Angeles. And
Ci siamo incontrati con Mary, ci siamo incontrati alla Badiula. Ti ricordi?
Alla Badiula?
Yes.
Yes.
They met at the Badiula.
Yes. At our home for 5 nights. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that was nice. But I have an Omaha connection through my mother.
Uh-huh.
So that's where I tie.
What's your mother's maiden name?
It's Monaco, Grace
Monaco. Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, we have Monaco connections, I think. I'm sure Gary's got some Monacos in his tree. I know I have some in mine. Let's see, who else do we have? Trish Lanfear. Now, Trish,
yes,
tell
sir.
us a little bit about where you're at and your surnames.
Well, my surname is a real big help on the Italian side since it's Quinn. But my mother married an Irishman. My mother was a Puricello. Okay, and so the Puricello family, you may have known Louise Puricello Salerno, Helen Puricello Furniture. Those were my mother's older sisters. And then there were 10 kids in the family. So and my mother was like number 7 or something like that. But so that's my connection to the Italian community. My grandfather was Antonino Puricello.
Are you related to Casey Quinn?
She's my sister.
Okay, I went to Mercy with her. I'm going to be seeing her real soon. So,
where am I? Who's talking? I can't see you.
It's Susan Franco.
Oh, do you know what? I can't get my own picture to close. on
But
this.
I thought you looked so much like Casey when I first came on. So
I love it. I love it.
If you move your cursor around the Zoom window, in the upper right, there's a little grid icon.
I did. I put it in. I put it in grid view, but it's decided to put my face right in the corner. Okay, now we're coming up. All right. So now who was talking? I'm sorry. What was your name?
It's Susan Franco Finley.
There you are. Hi.
I went to Mercy with Casey.
I got to write it down. Tell Case.
Oh, I'll send her a message right away because I'm on Facebook with her. She's a wild and crazy girl. I love her.
That's a hoot.
Yeah.
Small world.
I want to welcome back.
My daughter has been staying with us for a couple of months. She's having some change in her life, and she cannot believe what a small town Omaha is. How there's a connection somewhere, and it's not 6 degrees of separation. It's like 1. It's like, how come I just now met you? Anyway, it's nice to meet you, Susan.
And it's nice to meet you.
So you are in Omaha then, Trish?
I am.
Okay. So I want to welcome back Creighton Reinhard. His microphone is muted, but if he wants to say hello.
Well, hello, everyone. It's been a long time. Finally got to make one of these. I do have another meeting I'm scheduled for, but I decided to miss that one. So nice to see everybody. Marianne, how are you? Mary, long time no see. Juicy, long time no see. Oh, Dean, just saw you last time. So good to see everyone.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed your pictures, Creighton. Welcome back. And looks like you had a great time over there.
I did. I'd say I'd love being back, but that's just false.
And how is it now?
How is Omaha?
No, how is it coming back?
Oh.
Coming back to ordinary life.
Yeah, trying to get back in the swing of things. I'll say that has been a little bit tougher than I thought. Yeah, I'd go back. I think Marianne would go with me. Oh, Eleonora, there's still, I didn't see you there.
So I also want to welcome back I want to welcome back Paola Todini. As I recall, Paola, you're in Rome, is that correct?
Sorry?
What city do you reside in?
My residence is in Rome, but I'm still in Sicily because of my...
Hey, buonasera.
Ciao, Nino.
Ciao.
Ciao, Nino.
Ciao. State tutte bene?
Sì, grazie.
Buona serata a tutti.
Grazie. So we have so many people today. I was kind of thinking what would be kind of nice is for those of you who have just returned from Sicily to maybe just mention some of the things that you thought were the highlights of your trip.
Meeting family. Meeting some of the family was mine. Lot.
Marianne has become the poster child for our group and for endurance and for stamina, for all of it. She has just been the epitome of what it takes to get something done. And we're so proud of her for making this trip independently and successfully.
Oh, it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
One of the things I enjoyed the most about your pictures, Marianne Webster, is all of the different vehicles that you were in over the course of
my goodness. Yes. We even had a police escort one time when there wasn't a taxi available.
Oh, see, I thought you got arrested.
Yes. It was an extraordinary experience. Just, it still doesn't seem real now.
It's kind of a dreamlike thing that you were saying,
Yeah.
I think, in one of your posts.
Yes. No.
Our Ferrari.
Leonora.
Yeah.
Ciao, Marianne.
Yes.
Marianne, she's going to be 90 in a couple of days, let's say.
Yeah.
Happy
Leonora.
birthday to you.
Buonasera a tutti.
Marianne, I know meeting family was pretty exciting for you, but what was something that you didn't anticipate that happened?
One of my family members, I didn't even know they were going to be there.
And where
What's
did you
the family name, Marianne?
What?
What's the family name?
They were the Pistones. And I didn't know
Pistone.
that they were.
Pinuccia Pistone, who was my teacher in the high school of math and physics.
Ah.
Oh.
Pensa che Pinuccia Pistone io la conosco da quando era piccola perché era in
Certo,
classe con
Silvana
mia
la
sorella.
conosci bene. But then Marianne was not just surrounded by relatives, by friends. So she was super busy. I was like, Marianne, what's your plan tomorrow? Well, you know, I already met my family. I'm going to go with my friends tomorrow. She was...
Leonora, posso parlare un attimo?
Sì, certo. Che abbiamo qua stasera? Fatemi vedere. Ciao,
Nino
Nino.
Fode.
Ciao
Ascolta,
Paola, ciao Giusy, ciao a tutti.
puoi tradurre? Prima di tutto devo ringraziare Annichi per il lavoro fatto, che mi ha mandato tutti i parenti, tutte le coordinate dei parenti di mia moglie. E poi la vede la luna dietro di me, la luna che sta nascendo dal mare. Si vede?
Un puntino, sarà bellissima dal vivo. Nino wants to thank you for the great job that you did sending him all the relatives of his wife.
You're welcome.
Prego.
Bene. Guarda la luna che si sta alzando.
And then he wants us to notice the moon that is coming, that is rising from the horizon.
Ah, yes.
Bello.
Nice.
Sì.
Uno spettacolo della natura.
It's a show of the nature.
Che bella luna, che bella luna.
C'è la luna a mezzo mare, mamma mia,
mamma mia, figlia mia, dai a dare, mamma mia,
pensaci tu, Cirugno Muraturi, tu vai,
la cazzola in mano, Danny. It's fine, now
Marianne, we were talking about your friends. Who were some of the friends that you visited with?
I saw they got to visit with the Mangiavelli family. I think you know Sebastiano that lives in Milan, my cousin. It was his brother and two sisters and his 95-year-old mother. I got to visit with them. It was a little bit hard.
He lives in Ragusa and he came to Ragusa, to Carlentini to see you.
Yes, yes. And, I got to go to their home and visit with them. We needed a translator because I didn't understand them and they didn't understand me, but it was good. And then from there, they took me halfway, and then Pipo Sortino met me and took me to his home. Oh, they are such lovely people. I was so at home with them. They're just terrific. And
what part of
my
Sicily was that?
My wife Robin and I had the honor of going to their home while we were there. And we really
I was kept insisting, Nick, trust me. I have to take you in our place. Trust me, come with me. Okay. I didn't have to ask twice. a casa di Pippo Sortino, non ho dovuto convincere Pippo, Nick e Robin ad andare, loro subito accolati via andiamo. Sì, sì, ci sono divertiti. They are beautiful people.
I had so many surprises though. I couldn't believe it. The mayor giving me a kiss, and then the birthday cake. All of a sudden, they're putting an apron and a shawl on me, and I'm cutting the cake. And it was just, everything was just, it's hard to come down from all of that now. All of that excitement.
Sherry, what are you writing down? Talking about fireworks, I thought that at one point we were going to be killed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, now they're killing us. They were super dangerous. Ma i fuochi di quest'anno ma erano normali?
Sì, sì, erano normali, ogni anno li
Sì,
fanno
sì, everything was regular fireworks. Yeah. Loro sono rimasti scioccati.
Better than my memories when I was a child.
Really?
Yes, I think so. Because there was the competition between Lentini and Carlentini about fireworks, no?
Sì, vero.
And I must say that this year the fireworks in Carlentini were a great show. I mean, I just saw the videos. Unfortunately, I couldn't join the celebrations, but they were really great.
So I want to raise to everyone's attention that we have what's called the chat log, and Sherry Kanger has been putting some of her highlights into the chat log. So that's a good way if you would like to add some of your thoughts about your trip, or if you have some questions. I see Bob Hughes has some questions about the narrow street.
Where?
Chi è che ha il microfono acceso? Tu dammo su microfono.
So Sherry, I guess you were surprised by the Omaha Park? Oh, she stepped away. Sorry. It's hard to keep track of all these windows. We're up to 24 participants. This is so amazing.
Did we know that the Parco Omaha that was going to happen, or was that came as sort of a surprise?
Honestly, Creighton, it has been 8 years that we were waiting for that park to be completed, and it was almost completed before you guys planned to come. Okay. So the mayor said, you know what, let's dedicate it to Omaha. So on one hand was a coincidence, on the other hand was maybe it meant to happen. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, the timing worked out beautiful in that sense, because I don't know how all the travelers felt, but I certainly felt honored to have the park named for Omaha.
Sì. Il parco di Omaha a Carlentini, loro sono contenti, onorati del fatto che comunque gli sia stato dedicato un parco per loro. Dice, ma è stato pianificato? Ho detto, è stata anche una coincidenza, perché era da tanti anni che questo parco si discuteva, si parlava, si doveva fare, poi è stato iniziati i lavori, è stato inaugurato ed era in concomitanza con la loro visita, e quindi perché no? È stato il momento giusto, vuol dire che doveva andare così.
In effetti questo parco è nato come muro di contenimento per la scarpata, sai, perché lì è sempre soggetto a frane in caso di terremoto, quindi dovevano rinforzare tutta quella parte
del costone proprio, sì.
Del costone. Però hanno fatto un bel progetto, perché anziché solo solidificare le mura, hanno pensato di creare questa passeggiata che arriva fino a sotto dove c'è la chiesa della Madonna delle Ottave.
Sì.
E quindi
Silvana, she's saying that it's a old project, because that's part of the slopes of the hill. They are always slippery, and we have had several floods, and there's a dangerous side of the hill. So there was this project to strengthen the walls, and Silvana said that they made a great job creating an itinerary where we can walk through that goes as far as the Church of Madonna delle Grazie, so we can walk as far as the bottom of Carlentini. And it's nice now during the night light when we approach to that side of the city, because we see all the lights that are beautiful. Anche la sera è bellissimo vedere tutte le luci accese di quel lato lì. È stato migliorare un lato abbandonato della città.
Poi è vicino al parco lì alla villa, quindi diventa ancora più bello.
Plus is close to the Villa Belvedere, so we hope one day they will keep going there. Maybe, I don't know, there is the project to open some kiosk, some bar, we'll see. Maybe some restaurant, magari un giorno apriranno qualche chioschetto, un bar, qualcosa per dare qualche servizio, ristorante, qualcosa.
Più che altro nel periodo della festa, visto come l'hanno sistemato, le bancarelle.
Sì.
In occasioni particolari magari lo apriranno. E poi sai, è pericoloso, ci sono sempre i soliti vandali che distruggono le cose, purtroppo.
They will use it a lot during the festival of Santa Lucia, for sure, as we did this year, with all the artists and all the people going around. Cherry? What are you saying?
Yes, sorry, I had to meet somebody at the door. I have a contractor here. But I'm back.
Allora,
so
Sherry, you said that the 30 translators you wrote.
Yeah, that was
actually, we, thanks to you coming and the way that the CDO has to communicate to the citizens, actually our relationship with the people, it has become more direct. And when we asked for translators, almost 40 people came out, and then 30 of them, they were pretty active. They helped a lot. And they create a group that I'm trying to sustain. And next week we will give them like papers reminding their help during the visit of the people here. And so we will recognize this help, let's say, with those nice papers. And I will teach them an itinerary, like how to be a tour guide in Carlentini. So my gift for them will be to prepare them if in case in the future we will have people coming, they will know exactly how to lead you, showing you the most important cultural highlights. And then I will teach them even maybe an itinerary based on the street food, the cemetery, how it works to get there. So different itineraries so they can help in the future.
I have a question for Juicy Shiaka. Juicy, so you served as a translator in various instances. So
accidentally.
Tell me about your interactions with the tour group.
So, hi, Sherry, Mary Lou, and the others. Well, it was not the best moment, physically speaking, for me, because right those days I was using crutches, and so it was horrible. But anyway, so Sarah Ruma was at dinner at my mom's place, and then so we had a family dinner together. And then the day after, the group had already they had in their schedule a walk in Ortigia in Siracusa. So I was actually there, and they were having lunch just 300 meters from my apartment. So despite the crutches, I was able to
We
reach
chose the restaurant for that on purpose.
but without in advance.
Before, yeah, we were where does Juicy live? And then we chose that restaurant.
So, and it was great actually. So when I entered the little up just in, well, it looks little, but and by the way, it was a restaurant I had never been to, despite being so close to my apartment. And well, it was fantastic because all those people, the number of people was something impressive, and the fact that each one of them had something to share with the city of Carlentini, and that just talking, then we new relations just were brought to surface. No, I mean family relation, but also new friends, new people. I mean, I don't know how many Facebook requests I have sent and accepted, and so I doubled my Facebook friends. Well, hopefully I will meet in person. I mean, hopefully in the future, some of you, that would be great. We have a promise with Sarah. We just promise not to let other 30 years because exactly.
Aggiorna un po' chi parla solo italiano. Abbiamo Nino e Silvana che se no non seguono.
Scusatemi, mamma mia, è vero, dovevo fermarmi.
Poi anche riassumere, certo.
Per giù ho capito, comunque.
Avete ragione, mi dovete perdonare. Allora, no, io sono cugina sia di Sara Ruma che di Sherry. E noi allora abbiamo fatto una cena a casa il lunedì di 29, perché era anche il compleanno di mio papà, nella zona di mare, però io vivo a Roma, ma ho una casa mia a Siracusa, e l'indomani appunto tutto il gruppo aveva nel programma la giornata a Siracusa. Io li ho raggiunti e il ristorante era proprio a 300 metri da casa, quindi purtroppo per me era un momento difficile perché ero con le stampelle, quindi facevo fatica, molta fatica. Abbiamo camminato per Ortigia, è stato bellissimo. Ci siamo trovati nuove parentele che saltavano fuori, così, e tanti amici nuovi. Bellissimo, veramente bello.
Scusa, cosa ha visitato a Ortigia, a Siracusa in particolare?
Abbiamo fatto un percorso breve.
Sì, abbiamo visto molto bene il Duomo, però all'interno la cattedrale.
Sì, questo sì, ci siamo soffermati molto sul Duomo e Santa Lucia, giustamente. Poi abbiamo visto Santa Lucia all'Abbadia, dove hanno messo anche una riproduzione del Caravaggio, che spero rimanga sempre lì. Poi Giussi, dove siamo andati?
È stata una camminata molto... No, non era possibile, perché hanno fatto veramente un pomeriggio, pranzo lungo, perché tanta chiacchiera, e poi a piedi dal ristorante siamo arrivati alla cattedrale, appunto, alla Fonte Aretusa. C'era un caldo che si moriva, quindi non si riusciva comunque.
Siamo partiti in 46 e siamo arrivati a Fonte Aretusa in 6. Io, Giussi, Mayor, la sindaca, suo marito, Sherry, e suo marito e altri due.
Just to recap for the others, if you remember our walk in Ortigia, we were around 40 people, but then it was so damn hot that after the cathedral they kept going to Fonte Aretusa, but people followed Eleonora because all the others were just dying. And we had a seat at the bar in opposite the cathedral. We just kept drinking fresh water and eating granita.
Yeah, it was super hot.
The only way to survive.
I remember.
I have a request from Sherry Kanger to share my screen in regards to the family relationships between Juicy and Sarah and Sherry. So got to get to the right tree first of all. I think I'm going to make Sherry the home person so that we can see those relationships. So I'm going to change this to Sherry. Now, Sherry, I don't know how great this is going to be because I'm not sure
Jeremy,
I
anytime.
exactly the relationships.
Well, Juicy's mother is Silvana.
Yeah.
My mother was
Hang on a
Sandy
second.
and
Okay, so
Sarita.
here's Sherry's tree. And so there's your
Go to
grandfather.
Salvatore. Yeah, Salvatore.
Great-grandfather Salvatore. So are these the common ancestors? Salvatore?
Yes, Salvatore.
Maria Puglisi?
No, Gaetano Ruma and Maria Percillo are the commons.
Okay, well, okay, so hang on just a second because I'm not sure I can't do a split screen on this, but maybe what I should do is open a new window and put Juicy's tree up here.
Okay.
Juicy and I have been working on her tree, and so we have it fairly complete at this point.
Oh,
well, I wouldn't go with complete, but at least
yes,
it's
and you keep updating me with amazing material. Thank you.
That's amazing. Just while we are opening it, there was Gary asking a quick question I can answer. Gary was asking if the streets are narrower than here and if the cars are smaller. Well, we have narrow streets, but we have SUV. So you have to suck it in when there is a car coming.
So, okay, so I think this is your common ancestor here, Gaetano Ruma.
Yes.
But it appears that Juicy comes from
another brother.
wife.
Nuncio.
Yes.
Look at here, many people.
So
Sherry, you're better than me at that.
Nunzio's mother was Antonia Barberi. And on your tree, Sherry, I can't see because of this stupid bar.
Giussi, non mi sorprenderei se fossimo cugine.
Qualcosa c'è.
Giussi, ma allora Giussi, tu sei parente dei Varrasi di Carlentini, vero?
Sì,
we are all related.
Sono i tuoi cugini, sì.
Sì.
So I have that Salvatore's mother was Maria Piricello.
This actually could answer some questions that we have. I've always known Grandpa to have one brother. So if there was another brother, it could have been from another wife.
Well, let's look at the profile of Gaetano.
Okay, and the dates.
Okay, so I only show, the one wife in your part of the tree, but then when I go to see part of the tree, I have this other wife.
Sure, did I send you some information about another brother or another wife?
Yeah, or Dean, actually, can you verify that the one that I've clicked on is actually correct? Because I've taken over Dad's tree and I might have thrown in a name that's not really mine.
I don't have it in front of me right now.
So this Gaetano Ruma was married at least twice.
Oh my gosh.
Maria Piccizello and Antonia Barberi.
Okay.
Now this is Juicy's ancestor here.
Gosh.
I think that's what I sent you, Sherry.
Okay. Yeah, a long time ago, Dean?
Yeah.
Okay. This
is what we have: 26 December 1857 and 11 Feb 1929 on Juicy's tree. And we have 23 December 1857 on your tree. So what we need to do is probably look at the allegati for the marriages, because if these
Polygamy?
wives were dying, you know, of course this one was 1905. So I don't know. I think there may be some twisted branches in the tree here.
Hey, Nick.
That we need to straighten out.
Maybe.
Nick?
Yes.
Have you done any look for duplicates and merge?
Well, yeah, I do that, but it doesn't come up as a true duplicate because in the US he was known as Tom. Gaetano Francesco, born the 23rd of December, 1857. So what we need to do probably is look at, is that the actual birth date, or because this one says 26 December.
That's what I have, December 26th.
December 26, yeah.
And he married Maria Petrozello in 1883.
Right.
Before, and then he married Barberi in 1895 afterwards. So
right.
Maria was the first wife, and Antonina Barberi was the second wife. And they had 4 kids with Barberi, and they had 3 kids with Petrozello.
So there are rumors in Omaha, and Grandpa has told me, of course he's passed, but in 2011, when I started questioning him, he said that we are not related to the other Rumas. He vehemently said they are not related. And I kept thinking in my head, there's no way you can't be related to the other Rumas.
Per chi non segue tutto quello che stanno dicendo, stanno cercando di capire come Giussi con Sherry e Mary Lou sono tutti legati attraverso i Ruma, e quindi stanno cercando di capire qual è quell'antenato che hanno in comune.
This is probably part of the problem that we have, is that in your tree, Sherry, you guys say Piricello, and in this was all taken from Mr. Beckman. He says Petrozello.
Petrozello should be, that actually should be correct, is Petrozello. Piricello came when I hooked on one of those leaves.
No, Sherry, Petruzzello as it is written is not correct.
2 different surnames.
Oh, it's not.
No, it's a Piruccello.
Ah,
2 separate surnames.
Okay, so now this is a good opportunity to bring Trish Lanfear into the conversation.
I appreciate this comment, because I was looking at the spelling thinking, oh, that's interesting.
Silvana, tu che dici?
Pitruzzello e Piruccello sono 2 cognomi completamente diversi.
Ma sì. Pitruzzello esiste? Pitruzzello?
Pitruzzello? Certo che esiste. Conosco delle persone che si chiamano Pitruzzello.
Oh, Silvana knows Pitruzzello, I'm sorry.
Certo,
My
certo.
mistake, but
c'è anche
la
moglie di un mio
different
cugino.
Names.
Forgot about the chili.
Sì. La moglie del mio cugino si chiama Pitruzzello, mentre un altro mio amico si chiama Pitruzzello. Sono 2 cose completamente diverse. Ci sono molti Pitruzzello a Carlentini. Edoardo, c'è uno che
when I was looking at Trish's Piricello ancestor, Antonino.
Mary,
I thought,
okay.
well, okay, I should look and see what Jim has in his tree, and he shows Nashita 249, year 1877. So the actual image, though, is interesting.
This guy was
you can read it as Petruzzello too.
It's Petruzzello.
Vediamo, zoom it more.
This is actually supposed to be Piricello.
I think it's Petruzzello.
È Pitruzzello perché la Z sono segnate dal modo.
That looks like 2 Z's to me.
Agree.
No, it's actually 2 C's though, because this is what you have referenced is 249 1877 for
which
Piricello.
guy?
This is Antonino Piricello's birth record.
How did we get there?
Well, because I was just showing how Petrozello and Piricello they look similar when you're looking at them in the original records, and sometimes that happens. I think is that you read it as one thing when it's actually another. But
well, actually, in the record, it looks like they've conflated both names. It almost looks like Piricello.
But
whose birth record are we looking at?
This is right here over on the right. It says Antonino Piricello. And
well, that's the father. Who's the one at the top here then? Sebastiano.
Sebastiano is the father.
Is the father. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the only place where the surname appears, except on the margin, which of course I cut off the margin. But if we go to the Portale and look at the actual image, we can see how close they are. But anyway, this is just sort of a long way of telling you that you need to straighten out the rheuma tree and get all you cousins properly connected.
Sherry, we talked about that the day at the restaurant. I mean, for us, the link is that our grandfather, right, were brothers.
Right. Yes, they were brothers. And then there might be 2 other sisters. That's
they were half brothers. They had different mothers.
That part's interesting.
Yeah. There was a sort of a beautiful there, something.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
How can we translate in English tutti i nodi vengono al pettine?
Mamma mia.
Monica had some information you might want to catch.
Magari tutti i frusti.
Tutti i frusti vengono al pettine.
Cominciamo, non faremo più di dire modi di dire.
Because they were all very Catholic, so we are well known for being narrow-minded, but anyway, I mean, everybody cared about its own business. So 1, 2 wives and then children all around.
And then
there was one
an Italian expression that can be translated literally: all the notes come to the head one day or another.
True. My uncle did say, when I came back in 2017 and chatted with my uncle, he mentioned about somebody who, while giving childbirth, passed away. And perhaps is there a chance in that scenario, Nick, with that family? Did the first wife have a child and then pass away in childbirth, and that's why they remarried? Or is there crossover with dates?
Well, I think the
last daughter was born in 1892 from the first wife, and the first daughter from the second wife was born 4 years later in 1896. So maybe between those two, that's probably somewhere between those 4 years that the first wife may have died.
What year did that first wife die?
I don't know.
So, okay, this 1905 date is only a estimate. So we need to actually find when she actually died. It would probably be sometime after 1894, since she had a child as of that date. And then the next child is born in 1896. So it is most likely that Maria Petrozello actually died.
Say, Nick?
And yes.
The fellow that you were looking at here, Sebastiano Piricello, when I look him up, or Antonio, I don't have the one that was born, 1857? I don't have a birth record like this here, the 19457. Yeah, the 194 1857. I don't think I've verified that one yet. So,
okay, so
that may explain why I got the CC in there, not the ZZ.
okay, so I may have put this here, I don't know, but notice how we have an alternate birth date of 23 December. And also notice
December
that
26th.
Monica put in the chat log that he was actually born on the 23rd and he was baptized on the 27th. So I think we need to actually look at Gaetano Ruma's birth record to kind of straighten this all out.
I'm gonna look it up on my tree.
You had the 23rd, I think.
And it makes sense, Nick, if he had 4 little kids and she died, it makes sense he'd remarry.
Right.
Pretty quick.
The other place where you could look and see would be the marriage allegati, because it would have death certificate in there for the first wife.
I don't think they're running the marriage allegatis that late though. Marriage allegatis only went to about 1880s.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Perché è un
So
po' qui
let's look at 1857 birth, because this will...
Qui un po' da poche volte, ogni volta che bisogna trovare qualcuno a livello di albero genealogico, sia Jim che Dean che Nick hanno un diverso approccio. Ad esempio Jim, lui ha un albero genealogico con più di 40.000 persone che usiamo spesso come albero madre. Dean invece ha sempre stampato tutti gli alberi genealogici di qualunque tipo di famiglia potesse essere connessa minimamente con la sua. Infatti, per esempio, è riuscito a risalire a me, noi siamo cugini di 10ª generazione. E poi c'è invece Nick, che ha tutto un approccio multimediale, come vedete, per avere accesso ai registri. Quindi usa sia il portale Antenati, Ancestry.com, Family Search, sono tutti siti dove già si possono trovare dei registri online. E così, per tentativo, anno per anno, si prosegue cercando di arrivare fino al punto che si trova il documento della persona che si sta cercando. Ma mi ha pezzato l'occhio per la serie, no? I remember when we were trying to, at the beginning...
Posso suggerire una cosa?
Certo,
Leonora,
Nino, perché traducevo in italiano. Certo. Sì, Nino.
Sì, posso?
Sì.
A Carlentini, anche a Lentini, c'era l'usanza che tante prime cugine si sposavano con lo stesso cognome. Può essere una difficoltà che trova per trovare i cognomi, può essere una cosa che lo può aiutare.
Vediamo. So I explain Nino and those who are here for the first times, let's say, we're not maybe a lot familiar with our researches, that when we approach to look for someone, everybody has a different method, let's say. And Nick, you use several websites such as Ancestry.com, Family Search, etc. And then Nino was telling us maybe could it be helpful to know that in the past in Lentini and Carlentini there was the habit to let the first cousins get married, and very often they had the same family name.
Addirittura, Leonora, posso?
Sì.
Addirittura 2 fratelli si sposavano con 2 cugini, con 2 così, le sorelle dei cugini. E
very
viceversa.
often 2 brothers with 2 sisters, they get married.
Okay.
Like first cousins, and they combined the weddings in this way.
I think you might have to go one more
let's
page.
look at this.
Yeah,
one more
let's
page.
look
Go
at
back
this.
up a little bit here.
Hang on just a
one more
second, Tim.
page.
Let
One
me
more
just
page.
read what it says. Okay, so
this is Salvatore Ruma.
Salvatore Ruma is the father of Gaetano.
And he was 30 years old.
30 years old. And
the
his
child
profession
is
Bellico.
Yep.
Okay, and then over here it says Gaetano.
Well, he is one last thing over there. The presento the next word there is male.
Yeah, maschio.
Maschio, bravo.
He's a man. Okay.
Quale
And
ci ha
then
presentato un
the right
maschio?
column is the baptism record.
Yes.
Oh.
Check the next page for the birth record.
Right.
One more page.
Yeah. But let's finish off this one here. So he was baptized on the 28th of the current month, which was December. All right. I'm looking down at
it. Actually says down here that the baptism was administered on the 27th.
Right.
Okay.
The 28th was the date it was returned from the church to the commune.
Sorry. Yep, misread that. Gotta create an edit here in my own.
So now on the next page.
Jim stava dicendo che in questo documento, ad esempio, nella colonna di sinistra c'è l'atto di nascita e nella colonna di destra c'è l'atto di battesimo e vengono presentati tutti e due proprio nella stessa pagina.
Scroll to the right, because this doesn't look right.
It's right there in the middle. Nel giorno 26 al mese di December. It's right there.
So
vedi come piano piano loro hanno imparato con l'italiano e stanno andando
It says Gaetano, but it says the mother is Sebastiana Fuccio.
That's what I'm saying. Scroll to the right.
True.
Hey guys, I actually have the birth certificate of Salvatore Ruma, and on it, Gaetano is married to Maria Petruzzello with ZZ, E-L-L-O. That's on the actual birth certificate.
That's right.
Bastiano.
Okay, so your tree needs to be edited.
Yeah, I need to change it because I'm looking at Dad's tree, and Dad's tree has Petruzzello on it, and it has
with one T, Nick.
One T, two Z's.
Yeah. R. Perfect. Z E L L O. Perfetto.
Pitruzello.
Correct.
Sì.
Okay.
And the birth date on there. I got.
Okay, so let's just go to Maria's profile and merge with the duplicate.
I'll show you in my DNA matches as a four. Oh, Jeremy and Gary, you are cousins, 4th or 6th cousin. Jeremy saying.
Is that the right
DNA,
birth date?
Yes.
Her father's Alfio.
Okay, so now we've got Sherry in relationship with. No, we got to merge the two Gaetanos too.
Yeah, and I think I just sent you the birth certificate of
Mary.
Salvatore.
Mary has Lucia Petruzzello too.
Who does?
So
we are all related.
Is the 26th of December, is that the correct birth date?
Yep. It's right there. It go back to the record.
But this is saying his mother is Sebastiana Fuccio, which is not right.
Correct.
That's correct. That is correct.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right there at the top left.
Okay, so.
And she was 16.
Sebastiana Fuccio.
She was 16.
Okay, so we got that right. All right. So
age 16.
We can add the note about baptism on 27 December. So this needs to be deleted. So the correct is the 26th. Okay, so now we need to merge the two Gaetanos. So let's see. Merge with duplicate. There he is. Merge. Okay, so now when we go to Juicy,
so now it looks like Sarita and I are half cousin with Juicy. Is that how
you are third cousins, but you are, yes.
Third half cousins?
Yeah, but you're just third cousins.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so when you click here, this will show how you're related.
Oh.
Okay, so Juicy's mom is Antonia Silvana, and her grandfather is Salvatore, and her great-grandfather is Nunzio, and her second great is Gaetano. So starting from the bottom, Sherry, your mom was Sandy, your grandpa was Alfio, known as Fred, and your great-grandfather was Salvatore, and your second great was Gaetano. So you share a second great grandfather.
That makes you fourth cousins. That makes you fourth cousins.
Third cousins.
Wow.
Wow. You always add 2 generations to a grandfather.
Avete visto come l'ha spiegato?
Children of grandparents are first cousins. So when you go great grandparents, that's second, third, second, great, fourth.
Wow.
So the common ancestor is Gaetano.
Yes.
And then this Gaetano, the 2 sons, brothers, and then they had again, and then again. Okay.
Okay.
So when we view in the tree and we change to the to this view, you'll see
Gaetano.
I think it's Alfio is Juicy's line here.
Yes. No, that's Sarita's.
That's Sarita's line?
Yeah,
okay.
that's Sarita's. Nunzio is her line.
Nunzio, okay,
yes.
Here we go. Okay, and so
that's cool.
There she is.
Yeah,
okay, so
it's cool.
So Juicy is here, and Sherry should be off of this group.
And then Sandy and Frank. Here we go.
So you're in the same generation.
Yes.
Exactly the same.
Grandparents.
Yes, exactly.
Great grandparents and the shared second grade.
While Sarah is in line with my mother.
Yes, correct. And that's how, do you see when we talked, Sarita, Silvana, and Sandy are all in line. All the S's are in line with each other, our mothers.
Now you can say, I have to go to see my cousins.
Can we look at the record again, Nick?
Sure.
I'm very lucky.
The right side had the annotations for the marriage.
Over here?
Actually, marriages, yeah. That the stuff in the right-hand column there are the annotations for the marriages. There's 2 marriages, it looks like that's there. There's the first one there. And then if you scroll down a little bit, there's the second marriage, it looks like.
And the calligraphy has changed as well. La calligrafia cambia pure qua. Nell'anno 1857
il giorno 30 and something. So first was 1857, and then the other one was 1883, December 25th. Was a contract in Carlentini.
In Carlentini on the 25th of December, 1883.
So 30 years later, 1857.
And then at Roma Gaetano. And someplace in there,
Petruzello Maria.
With the two
Maria Petruzella.
Okay, that's the second. That's is that the second one? No, that's the first one.
That's the first one.
Okay, so what's up there above it?
This is all about the birth and different registration stuff that they did.
Ok, l'anno 1857, il giorno del sindaco, della provincia, posizione dell'articolo, legge civile, abbiamo chiuso il fermare il presente degli atti di nascita. Yeah, this is act of birth, all the papers of the number. Yeah, this is related to the act of birth. The one written at the top.
All right.
Yeah, and it's basically just indicating that they're recording it. There's not any new info in there.
Yeah. Yes.
So the one we want to look at is, if we go back to Tom's profile, yeah, Gaetano. I didn't pick up the Tom. I don't know why you guys call him Tom on your branch, Sherry. Because he was.
Why does it show two different lines? Why does it show two different lines?
Tom is the English name for Gaetano.
Ciao, Trish. It has been a pleasure.
He was born in Carlentini and
Right.
he died in Carlentini. So why would he get the name Tom?
When they came to America and they put something down in the records in America, they will translate it to Tom.
La traduzione ha suonato la campana.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Was that somebody? Did he come to the U.S. and go back?
No, one of his records out there. One of his children. When they get married, then they will put down their father's name, and instead of putting down Gaetano, they will put down Tom.
Yeah, I think it may have come from like a birth record or something like that, or a marriage record.
Well,
for one of his
or a
children.
death record, a marriage or a death record.
Yeah, it looks like I have duplicate profiles now for Salvatore here. No, that's not it. But somewhere along the line, they gave him that Tom name. Anyway,
I think there was Jeremy who was asking to double check a couple of minutes if he has some match with somebody.
Well, I have a question about this. Since it shows the same parents, why is there two different lines? Two different family lines. When you go back to the tree.
Let's see. Okay.
For Salvatore?
Okay, so
yeah,
Salvatore is off of the Maria line, and Nunzio
So you have to.
So
Nunzio's off of Antonia Barberi.
So one line, so the wife was married twice?
No, the husband was married twice. See, here's Nunzio down here with Antonia.
So
Nunzio is Juicy's, and here's Sherry's. They have different mothers. Those two brothers have different mothers.
Can you go back to the tree view?
Sure.
That's what.
Okay. It
so
actually doesn't show. It doesn't actually show the other wife for some reason.
Okay. Click on the Gaetano and say, look at his family. Right click or left click or whatever it is.
Or just manage relationships. You can clean up the relationships on that.
If you go to the top of his picture, it says new. Then it shows second wife.
Yeah, turn on Anthony.
There we go.
Oh, okay, now it makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So this one here needs to be edited too, because she died probably shortly after Carmelo. Because
yeah, she's in that black hole, the blind spot.
Oh yeah, the
you have to
the black hole of Carlentini genealogy.
Okay, yeah, so you're going to have to go out to the burial records to actually find her.
We have the indexes, so she might appear in the indexes.
Let's hope so.
You want to look?
Yeah. Oh, you got.
I think it was 2021 when I did that post. There we go. No, this is death indexes. What am I?
You're looking for the burial, the cemetery records.
Yeah.
Leonora?
Yeah, I'm looking for the black hole is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Dimmi quando posso parlare.
Dimmi, Nino.
Posso parlare?
Certo.
Ascolta, io sto seguendo in parte, sto capendo le difficoltà che ci sono. Mi sta venendo in mente una cosa. Carlentini, fino a 2 generazioni fa, era con 8.000 o 10.000 abitanti. Questi abitanti a Carlentini erano su 8 quartieri. Ci sei chiaro?
Aspetta, erano 8.000 abitanti su 8 quartieri, quindi 1.000 abitanti per quartiere?
Circa, fai questo. Allora, oggi le persone, gli ottantenni, quasi novantenni che ci sono, magari uno, due, ogni quartiere, scusa, sanno tutto. Possono fare la storia di quelli che sono stati Omaha, il cognome e tutto quanto. Se si fa una ricerca accurata, si può risalire i cognomi e quelli che hanno emigrato Omaha e così via.
So Nino is saying that 2 generations.
Non so se sono stato chiaro, Leonora.
Sì, ora glielo traduco.
Nino, io guarda, come esperienza ho ho quasi 70 anni.
Roll down.
E prima io conoscevo quasi a tutti.
This is it right here.
Ho fatto l'amministratore del quartiere mio.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Dammi una risposta, spiegalo bene.
So, okay, Nino wants to share with everybody this information. 2 generations ago, Carlentini had 8,000 inhabitants, organized and divided into 8 neighborhoods. So more or less 1,000 inhabitants per neighborhood. He's saying, I'm almost 70, so I've been an administrator of my neighborhood for years. And in my neighborhood, there are still people who are 90, 95 years old who are still alive, who can tell us every name and family name of every single person who left Carlentini to go to Omaha. So maybe we could do research from them, asking them who left.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Who's on that job?
Questa sarebbe una bella cosa da fare, ma chi lo fa questo lavoro?
Lo possiamo fare noi, un'equipe, lo possiamo fare. Io mi faccio aiutare dai impiegati comunali che sono amici miei, in quanto ho fatto l'assessore e sanno tutte. Posso andare a
Nino, sarebbe molto bello, e ti dirò di più
comunali.
Che Rino Di Mauro ha una sezione nel suo ufficio, proprio nella stanza dove lui ha la sua scrivania, dove c'è uno scaffale, dove c'è una sezione dedicata a tutte le persone che da Carlentini hanno spostato la residenza altrove, che se ne sono andati. Soltanto che in passato per andarsene in America bisognava avere rilasciato il passaporto. Quindi c'è una sezione dedicata alle persone che hanno ricevuto il passaporto, che se 2 più 2 fa 4, la maggior parte di questi dovrebbe essere scritto il luogo di destinazione, ci dovrebbe essere scritto Omaha, Nebraska. Quindi si potrebbe ancora di più partire proprio dalla stanza di Rino e vedere chi è che c'è scritto tutti i passaporti, quanti sono, quanti
Scusa,
erano.
Leonora, quello è un passaggio importante, però le persone del quartiere, le anziane, possono ricostruire tutto e la mente storica. Non sanno scrivere, non possono scrivere, ma possono parlare e ci possono aiutare.
E Nino, se tu ti fai affiancare da una ragazzina, da qualcuno che sa usare il telefonino, mentre tu gli fai una sorta di intervista che ci fai 2 chiacchiere, quella registra con un cellulare e rimane tutto documentato. Facile.
Perfetto. Tipo, io ho fatto la prova con mia suocera che ha 95 anni e del quartiere 4 ragazzi.
He tried with his mother-in-law, who he's 95 years old, and she knows everything about the neighborhood called the 4 Squares. That is actually the neighborhood from where the majority left, che poi è il quartiere dove la maggior parte se ne andò. Era proprio il quartiere delle 4 piazze, quello che è proprio il centro della grande ondata di immigrazione anche a Botticella, questo sì, eppure però le 4 piazze in particolare. Silvana, sei muta, Silvana.
Ho visto. Il fratello di mia nonna abitava al convento, nel quartiere convento. Però tutti i carlentinesi di qualsiasi quartiere sono partiti.
From every neighborhood they left.
C'era molta povertà.
Sarebbe una bella ricerca, Nino, sarebbe un bel regalo, perché la gente di te si fida perché sei del posto, è difficile aprire le porte agli estranei, quindi è un...
Possiamo fare questo lavoro, giusto?
E ci tieni aggiornati man mano, con piacere.
Conservare le persone. Il
problema è che io ho poco tempo,
Scusa, Silvana, perdono. Con gli impiegati
ma io già lo faccio.
Impiegati comunali che sono in pensione ci possono aiutare tantissimo.
C'è Nick che vuole fare una domanda. Nick.
And so So what I heard was that there are certain people who remember the names of people who left. And
yes.
Antonino Foti is a prime example of that. He gave me a list of names, and then I was able
Tu già
to...
sei un esempio, Nino, perché hai dato a Niccolo una lista di nomi, già di tanti nomi.
Sì.
And I was able to find records to match up to what he
E
had on
grazie
his
ai nomi
list.
che tu le hai dato, lui è stato in grado di poter fare gli accoppiamenti nei registri, con i registri e con i documenti. Quindi questa lista a lui l'ha aiutata tantissimo.
Ho capito, sì, signore.
So if I could get similar lists from those other people, then we can help to tie this all together.
Quindi se lui potesse ricevere altre liste come questa che gli hai dato da altre persone, sarebbe veramente un lavoro molto utile che porterebbe tanto lavoro avanti.
A disposizione.
Allora, Nino, per quello che
io
posso fare io, ti posso aiutare, giusto? Però il mio tempo è molto poco. Ti posso aiutare a trascrivere, a mandare le cose in list, questo lo posso fare.
Io chiedo questi 15 giorni di tempo e che stiamo aiutando al nostro sindaco perché è impegnato in campagna elettorale.
Nino is saying, I take 2 weeks and then I will start working on this thing because in this moment he's helping a lot Mayor Stefio with the campagna because he's running for the regional parliament. So it's
stiamo
super,
girando
super
tutta
busy.
la provincia di Siracusa.
We are turning around everywhere in the county of Siracusa every day. So they're super busy. Yeah, lo so, l'altro ieri ci siamo incontrati alle 8 di sera.
Since we're talking about the lists that I was able to find for Antonino, I'm going to bring that up in my email so that people can see.
And then Nick, I think there are even new people that needs to have a little bit of space as well.
Yes, yes.
Leonora.
My apologies. We have so many new people, and Antonino was new last week, so
still new, new too.
Leonora,
Sì, Nino.
posso?
Certo. Sì, Nino, puoi parlare.
Allora, io ho bisogno di te, di Paola, della professoressa Paola e Silvana, per che sapete scrivere. Tutto il resto lo faccio io, il lavoro di ricerca di queste cose, di queste quartiere.
Va bene, tu basta che ti porti con te qualcuno che ti registra col cellulare e poi io te la do una mano a trascrivere. Non c'è problema.
Non c'è problema per trascrivere.
Ad ascoltare le interviste.
Invece la dottoressa Tovini voleva fare...
Aveva un'altra idea.
Sì, Silvana, ti ascolto.
No, aveva un'idea, siccome lei è una giurista internazionale e conosce bene tutte le leggi, eccetera, eccetera, voleva fare un piccolo memorandum da pubblicare sul sito del comune, poi glielo chiederemo, perché lei lo fa gratis.
So I don't know if Marianne's still with us, but some of these relatives of his wife,
un opuscolo dove spiega come sono le leggi in Italia per quanto riguarda le nascite, le morti, le pubblicazioni di matrimoni.
That's a great thing. Silvana.
Lei si è offerta gratuitamente di fare questa cosa.
Grazie Paola.
È una cosa...
Prego.
Sei ancora qui, lo vuoi dire tu in inglese a tutti?
Sì, faglielo dire a lei.
Okay, so thank you. The idea is that I'm a family law professor. That means that I can write under the indication of Nick that will outline which kind of concept we need for this kind of research in order to reconstruct the family tree, I can prepare in English a very short and simple vademecum
guideline
that show and explain the registers in Italy of the birth, or for example, some information that can be useful for this kind of research. For example, when you have to announce the marriage, the different kind we have now and how it was in the past, to announce it in the municipality and at the same time for 8 days, that includes 2 Sundays in the church. All these things I think could be useful. If you like
a guideline about how all the registers and the acts they work in Italy. Okay, maybe very nice.
Yeah, the idea is not to make register, because that's something that need to do, but which kind of register, how they works, or the procedure of all the act that belongs to the human being. So everything that must be recorded in this kind of register, birth, or for example, I remember last time we saw espositi, what it means. Espositi are those that are without parents before the forest care or before the adoption, that are registered in a particular and special register. So all
this is very interesting. We were approaching something similar once when I was explaining them, for example, the ius soli and ius, what's the other one? Ius soli, va bene, la differenza. Those legal things are very, very interesting.
So oftentimes you'll see in the registers, it'll say genitori ignoti.
Yes,
ignoti.
Paola,
means you don't know the parents.
Yeah. And then there are different procedures. It depends of the time. For example, you have to think that Italy, before the reform of the Italian family law, was a very patriarchal family. As you say, the man declares that in this house was born Mario Rossi or whatever. So also the law was a very different concerning the parental responsibility, and it means that all the acts or all the information that you can find through the register can be more, you can receive more information in order to better understand what you can find in this kind of register and how was the society and the family law when your ancestors moved from Italy to Sicily, in order to better understand and reconstruct your family tree. That's just an idea, if you like. I'm happy to help you in that.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, very interesting.
Well, I started since the Ancestry portal is opened up. I started with 1820, and I'm up through 1831 now, of adding essentially all the vital records that are out there for births, deaths, marriages, and
you mean, Jim? Are you transcriptions? You mean? Updating the website?
I am updating my tree. I am adding all of this information from 1820, and I'm up through 1830 complete. Of all of these records that I think Paula is talking about, and so.
And those registers, they are from the parish, or?
No, these are the records that are out on at Sonati.
Ok. Lui sta facendo questo lavoro.
These are the civil records that are out there that I'm pulling off the portal. I'm trying to figure out. I got a couple of filters here. Hopefully, I can bring up something.
I'm going to translate in Italian for everybody, Jim, while you're looking for it, right? Ok?
Yeah.
Jim diceva che lui è andato nel sito di Antenati e ha preso tutti i registri civili presenti e sta aggiungendo gli atti di nascita, gli atti di morte, gli atti di matrimonio anno per anno nel suo albero di famiglia, e ha già aggiornato il suo albero di famiglia aggiungendo questi tipi di atti dal 1820 è già arrivato al 1831, anno per anno tutti, di ogni tipologia. Bravo. In maniera tale che quando poi si cercano le persone, essendo già aggiornato il sito, si possono trovare. Ma questo è un lavoro immane, immenso e infinito, cioè vi rendete conto? Jim, how many people are we talking about? I mean, in one year. In one year.
Okay, let me bring up 1820, the marriage record.
Per esempio, prendiamo il 1820. How many acts of death, of birth?
There are, okay, I've got the marriage records here for everything that I put in for Carlentini. Nick, can I have the screen here for a moment?
Sure.
Per esempio, prendendo l'anno 1820, lui ha aggiornato la città solo di Carlentini, parlando un po' in totale, calcolando tutti gli atti di matrimonio, soltanto gli atti di matrimonio, ad esempio. Yes.
Okay. So, on the left column here,
nella colonna di sinistra,
these are all of the marriage records that I put in for Carlentini, and there are the total it looks like is at 7,800 now.
Are you kidding me?
No. This is these are well.
Onora, c'è anche Pippo Baudo.
It's probably counting things twice. It's counting things twice because the marriage has
allora, giusto per avere un'idea, solo nell'anno 1820 Jim ha aggiornato il sistema che abbiamo online, solo degli atti di matrimonio sono 7.805 atti di matrimonio solo per il 1820. Nino, ti rendi conto che tu puoi ir a resuscitare i morti, ma nessuno si ricorderà di chi è che se n'è andato nel 1820.
Scusa, io ho le idee
just to clarify though, just to clarify that 7,000 is everything that matches Carlentini, right?
Yeah,
7.000 sono quelli che c'entrano con Carlentini, solo Carlentini.
Posso?
Certo. Sì.
Allora c'è una banca dati enorme, lo sai dov'è? Secondo me, attenzione, mi posso anche sbagliare, nei centri per anziani. Tutte le persone, la maggior parte delle persone anziane, gli ultra ottantenni, novantenni, si trovano lì. A Omaha come funziona? Non ci sono questi centri, queste persone ci possono aiutare perché sono la generazione a cavallo.
Do you have in Omaha like a family houses where those old people are? Because those people who are 90 years old now, they remember that generation because they were their parents or grandparents. So they are our last generation, Nino is asking. Where do you put the older people over there?
They're all over the place, but there are some people, Chris and Meg, I don't know if you can help me with that. There's somebody in South Omaha in Little Italy in their late 90s.
Certo, anche a Omaha ancora ci sono delle persone vive che hanno 90 anni a Little Italy, o ci sono case per anziani anche ad Omaha, certo.
Comunque
il patrimonio è lì.
The patrimony is there, sì. Nino is saying.
Una cosa interessante effettivamente è quella di fare le interviste, come dice Nino.
Sì, le interviste sono importanti. Ti porti a una ragazzina da presso che sta usare il cellulare e ti fa registrare. Paola, hai fatto una domanda?
Yeah, I would like to say that maybe we can underline the two different kinds of sources. So we have legal sources like the civil register, and outside, and it's depend on when they were married and so on. We have the indirect, we call in this way as a researcher, indirect sources like the church. And we are lucky because the majority of people from Carlentini, I'm quite sure they are Catholic. So we have just one kind of register.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have more.
Yeah. And maybe we can look on others. I don't know, for example, let me say, in some kind of research, because now I'm a civil and family law professor, but I start my work as a researcher in Italian law. It means the historical way. And we used to look for indirect sources, like, for example, the parish in the cemetery and this kind of things. So maybe we can, if we are lucky, where there are no other chances to find some ancestors in, I don't know, in the civil register or in the church. It depends on the time, because then we have a concordatario, the marriage concordatario, so everything changed. We can use this kind of sources.
So,
Jim,
Jim, I see you scrolling through these names, and you obviously have done some of the later records, and you've done some of the earlier records.
Yeah, well, I did everything that was out on Ancestry, so everything from 1900 through the end of when records were out there, which is like
what's the most
43.
recent one? 1940? Well, the last one.
The last one's out here.
In the 60s. 19. Well, ciao, Sheila.
43 is the last one that was reported out on Ancestry. That's out on Ancestry. But some of these records have annotations.
Family search. Don't you mean family search, Jim?
No, Ancestry.
Ancestry
has actually, it should be both of them. Should be both of them for the marriage records.
No, I don't think this is Ancestry.
Okay, that's whatever. But there are annotations out there that go forward even beyond this within the birth records. That let's see if I can pull one up here. There's this
okay,
one
so
here.
you're pulling off of the annotations as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one says, okay. So in the annotations here, it said that if you were to look up the records in 1955, number 24 is this marriage between Petro and Alfina. That makes sense?
That's a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Wow.
And then,
from a 1916 birth record, you pulled the annotation for the 1950s.
When they got married, they went clear back to the birth record and put an annotation there. The other thing that's here is in, well, the stuff that's early on, you know, the stuff, it all predates 1820 too. Because here are records of people that were before they had the records here. We have video.
Jim, let me ask, have you
più indietro in cui si riesce ad andare è 1782.
So have you done any of the allegati or the processetti?
No, I did in the early records from the 1820s. They, inside the marriage records there, they have two sections. They have one where Paula was explaining where they have essentially, they post on the church door The marriages are upcoming, and then there is the second half of that is where they actually got married, where there was no opposition, and the marriage went through, and they got married. And for a lot of these, let's see. Yep, this. Let me pull one up here. Hello. Oh, well, this is.
Hai visto? Scusa Eleonora, ho notato una cosa. Visto qua il matrimonio c'è 17 aprile e poi si passa direttamente al mese di giugno. Perché a maggio prima non si sposavano. Il mese di maggio era il mese della Madonna.
Mia nonna sempre diceva a maggio non si marita, non si carria, non si fa niente al maggio.
Maggio era il mese della Madonna, per cui non ci si doveva sposare. E questo lo dimostra. Visto?
So Silvana, she's noticing that during the past in Sicily there was this belief that May was the month during which people, they didn't have to get married because it was the month of the Virgin Mary. So it was like a bad luck or whatever to get married in May. So as you can see, there is always May empty. All the registers of wedding, they go from April straight to June because of this belief.
Is that right?
Yeah.
There goes.
È vero.
Well, there's, okay.
Anche adesso chi si sposa si sposano pochissime. Cioè, ormai forse la cosa è passata, però
no, we don't follow this belief anymore. But this is something. There were just 4. Guarda, 4, and then so many.
Se tu vedi c'è aprile e poi
interesting.
Because my grandma, she used to say during the May, in May, we don't get married. We don't move from one house to another. We don't move, and we don't get engaged because our like a new beginning, new projects.
Però qualcuno c'è qua. Però siamo nel 1825, più in là.
Well, it looks like the early 1820s, they didn't follow that.
It seems that at that time they didn't believe this thing, maybe. But there was
sì,
a huge...
Però c'è stato un periodo, veramente, un lungo periodo in cui questa cosa non
Sì, was a long...
Quando meno i matrimoni in chiesa non si facevano. Ma anche ai miei tempi,
mia nonna lo diceva sempre. A maggio non si carria, non ci si fidanza e non ci si marita.
Yeah, by the time 1830 rolled around, it looked like they were practicing that pretty much.
Hey Jim, I'm gonna grab the screen back because I want to see who we.
How do I? Can you pull it back for me?
Yeah.
All right. There you go. Thanks.
And I'm going to stop share for just a second. So I want to compliment Terry Jubileesco, Bewig, and Mary Betancourt for sticking it out in spite of us getting lost in the weeds. And Terry, obviously, you're a Jubileesco.
Yeah,
Can you tell us a little bit more about your family? And I'm going to go back to screen sharing while you talk because I want to see if I can find your grandfather in our tree.
My grandfather's name is Carmelo.
Okay, so let's go to... And your grandfather is
Carmelo Jubileesco.
Well, let's look in the tree first. Let's look in the Italians of Omaha. Carmelo Jubileesco. Tree search. So have you and I actually worked on this at all?
No, Gary has worked on mine.
Okay.
He's sending it to me.
Okay. So I do have access to Gary's tree. But
Yeah,
let's check Jim's tree. As you can see, Jim has a lot of names in his tree, and we'll check to see what he has on Carmelo. Let's go with this view. And Carmelo Chibalisco. Okay, so do you know approximately when Carmelo died?
He died, I think it was 1990 or 91.
Okay, so Jim doesn't have him under Carmelo. Oftentimes, Carmelos are Carls.
Yeah, he was a Carl, so you may have him as a Carl.
No,
His name really was Carmelo, but
okay,
you may have him as Carl.
All right, well, let's do this then.
I also have
born in 1911.
That sounds right. I have.
And he died. Yeah, and he was married to Josephine.
Yep, Josephine. Gaeta, yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Why am I not finding him?
That's because you're not looking for Carlo Paul.
Oh, okay, Carlo.
Yeah, his actual real name was Carmelo. But Carlo Paul is maybe that's what he went by.
Okay, so this is your family tree in Jim's family tree.
Oh. Are you in there, Jim?
Am I in there someplace?
Yeah, Jim.
I'm just one little person there.
Jim's right here. This is Jim.
Okay.
James Beckman, and his mom was a Castro. But Jim has been busily transcribing all of these records for us. So that's why your Carlo shows up in here. And so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna grab Carlo into my tree because I can't do anything unless it's in my tree. So I need to add a new person. And then, unfortunately, you have to add them twice. Some weird thing about Ancestry. They don't pull it all in the first time.
It would be nice if it pulled across some of the records too.
Yeah, that would be huge. Okay, so now we can see that his parents are being added. His parents were Philadelphia and Lucia Adorno. And it looks like Lucia was born in Malili and Philadelphia was born in Carlentini.
Oh, those are all Bob Hughes's relatives.
Yeah, I wonder if she's related to me.
Yeah, she's one of the sisters of all those girls.
Children of Carlo Paul are Philip.
Bye, Sherry.
And
bye-bye.
Ciao, Sherry. Ciao.
I'm not going to add all these siblings because it sounds like we might have him. Well, maybe I will. I'll just have to merge all the duplicates. That's one of the things is when you're adding stuff from other people's trees, it has a tendency to create duplicates in your tree. And so one of the things you have to check is whether or not you have duplicate profiles.
So do you recognize any of your uncle's aunts?
Oh yes, a lot of them actually. My Uncle Frank. Let's see.
So this is your grandfather. So there's an Uncle Frank. So let's see what we got in the 1950 census.
Let me get my battery charger. You do that.
Yeah, that Lucia's in my tree. 2.
My great-grandmother then.
Lucia Adorno. Okay, so that's where I might have a duplicate. So let's see if we can merge. No, it's not.
There, change
Apparently
venue.
I didn't steal it from you, so.
Carlentini, ci sono tanti giubilisco.
This is very interesting, but I'm very much a beginner, so bear with me.
No, that's not it either.
So does this mean
Lucia.
that Terry and I are related?
It sounds like a possibility. So,
me too.
Was that Jim that said that, or Jeremy?
Jeremy's also got Adornos in his tree.
Yeah, I think we're related. If he's related to Gary, he's probably related to me.
So the one who was talking earlier was Bob.
Bob. Oh, Bob. Okay.
So you got Bob and Jeremy that,
I don't see Bob's
have
picture.
Adornos in their tree. So let's do this. Carlo Paul is your grandfather. So I was going to see, was your dad born before 1950?
Yes.
Okay, so Philip. Okay, so Philip's already in the tree, right? Yeah, we got Philip here. So let's add Philip's wife, your mom.
Geraldine Frank. And Frank, yeah.
You know her birthday?
January 4th, 1936. She's still alive.
So this is, I'm sorry, what year was it again?
Let's see, she's 84, so 30. She's
38?
86, 1939, I think.
1938 would be 84.
She's 86, I'm sorry.
Would be 1936.
36, yeah.
1936, okay.
And are you in Omaha, Terry?
No, I grew up in Omaha.
Oh, okay.
But I left there when I was about 20.
Bill is your dad. I think I used to work with him.
Oh, he was a policeman for a while, and
Did he do telemarketing?
No, I don't think he ever did telemarketing. Actually, my name is Teresa. Really, it's Theresa.
His wife a redhead?
His second wife.
What is your birthday, Teresa?
8/25/1958.
Were you born in Omaha?
Des Moines, Iowa.
Page County or Boone County? Polk.
Polk.
You know, there were 3 Des Moines.
Okay, so we now have you in the tree. And of course, when we look at you in the tree, we're going to only see your paternal line.
Right.
But we tend to focus on the Italians, so hopefully that's okay with you.
Oh, that's
now.
fine.
Do you have a family tree similar to this on Ancestry or someplace else?
No. Now, Gary said he's done a lot of mine.
Okay,
and he's going to email it to me, but I don't have it yet.
Let's see what Gary has. Wait, trees, create and manage. The problem with Gary is he has so many trees.
I know I have a paper tree that he did in about 1985, somewhere buried away in storage. It's huge. I mean, he's been working on it forever.
So there's also Nick Gibilisco, and then there's Gary.
Yeah, Nick was my dad's cousin, I think.
Okay.
And his son is named Nick, also.
So your dad was Philip?
Yeah, Philip. Yeah, 2 L's. That's my brother.
That's your brother. Okay, so no, that's not your brother.
1966? No, it's not my brother.
Let's see.
That's not my brother. My brother's name is Philip Paul. This is Philip Sebastian is my dad.
Well, he doesn't have you in this tree.
Huh.
Or maybe he's spelling Philip different.
Yeah, maybe he is. Philip. No?
No.
Huh, that's very strange.
What was your grandfather's name again?
His name was Carlo.
Paul,
yeah.
He's got a few. No.
It's an old family name, clearly Carmelo.
Well, we must be in the wrong tree, is all I can tell you.
Yeah, I have some Sortinos by marriage.
Leonora, scusa.
Sì, dimmi tutto, Nino.
Per salutare a tutti gli amici.
Yeah, semplicemente Nino wants to say hi to everybody and he's going to leave. Va bene. Paola, va bene, grazie.
Ci parliamo fra poco.
Ciao a tutti.
Ciao.
Complimenti per il lavoraccio che hanno fatto i due.
Thanks everybody for the bad work that you've done. She said lavoraccio. That's a bad work. Grazie Nino.
A dopo.
Ciao Nino, buona
Ciao
serata.
Silvana, Paola, ciao.
Ciao a tutti. Ok.
And Nick doesn't have Carlo Paul in there either. So I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, let's go back to where we were. And
so, okay.
So you're also a Gaeta.
Yes.
That's a Lentini name.
And this will take us back into Jim's tree. And Jim has Giuseppe's parents as Giuseppe and Maria. So I'll resave that in. Oh, I do have a duplicate there.
That's her, I'm sure.
Oh, the dates are different.
2003. She would have died in 2003. We were actually in Sicily when she died. My dad,
really?
My father, and I were in Sicily when she died. We were in Taormina, and on our way to Lentini and Carlentini. So
that's misspelled.
Yeah, I've got it right here, but I thought I was doing it from your tree, but maybe
Giuseppe.
Giuseppe, not a new person. Oh, that's
Yeah,
this is because we have
Giuseppina.
duplicates. We've got duplicates here. That's what the problem is. Save to your tree.
Giuseppe would be male, right?
No, Giuseppe is a female.
Giuseppe or Giuseppe?
Giuseppe.
Yeah, see, yeah, there's a Giuseppe in there. Yeah.
Her father was a Giuseppe.
Joseph.
Right.
In siciliano Giuseppa si può dire in tanti modi, anticamente si diceva Giuseppina, Pina, ma si poteva dire anche Puda.
Pina.
Mia nonna si chiamava Giuseppe e la chiamavano Puda.
¿Cómo?
Puda.
So according to the birth ledger, she was born on the 3rd of December. And we've got alternate dates. It doesn't source it here. But we have all sorts of alternate dates for her birth.
Well, you'd have to go look at the records to see where they all popped up from.
Yeah.
But the one there is from the birth records. That would be the what Douglas County has.
Yeah, this is what Douglas County has. So it's right here. Certificate number 24630.
That's interesting.
When we go back to my grandfather, was he born in Sicily? Carlo, well, he was born in the U.S. also.
I have duplicates for him too, so bear with me. It says he was born in Omaha. Select.
There you go.
Okay.
Merge.
This is so great. Thank you so much. I am just thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled with this. This is so fun.
So.
And appreciative.
Well, you can go through all the hints. which
Nick,
are,
what told you that you had a duplicate? How did you know that?
When I was looking, I could see that there were 2 children named Carlo.
Yeah.
It's commendatore.
Yeah, commendatore.
These are names I don't know and never heard before, so this is really exciting for me.
Commendatore è un nome, scusate, commendatore è un nome tipico di Lentini. Io ho una collega che si chiama Commendatore Carmela.
Commendatore di cosa?
She's saying that commendatore is a typical name of Lentini. And in this particular case,
so
yes,
is
indeed.
Gaeta. So is Gaeta, so they're probably all from Lentini.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gaeta, Juicy said it's from a small town in southern Italy called Gaeta. It's a city near Naples.
Gaeta è una città vicino a Napoli.
Sì, io ho abitato a Gaeta tanti anni fa. Per 2 anni. 2 anni. A Gaeta e poi Casal di Principe e poi Pozzuoli.
Ah, sì, tutte nelle vicinanze di Napoli. Sì.
7 anni.
Casal di Principe.
Sì, Casal di Principe.
I asked this because I was curious about Gaetano also, because it sounds like Gitano.
Gaetano.
Gaetano significa di Gaeta, che viene da Gaeta. From Gaeta.
Gaetano è greco. It's Greek name. Gaeta from Virgil, the Virgil, Aeneid. Aeneas Landing, storico da Gaeta. Caeta. Caeta was Virgil's wet nurse in the legend. They say that's where it came from. The name of Gaeta. How did it get to Sicily?
Probably the Greeks.
The Greeks took it. Yeah.
Infatti c'è il nome spagnolo Caetano, Caetano Veloso.
Spagnolo.
Spagnolo.
Sì, Spanish.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like in Spanish, gitano actually means gypsy, and that's why.
Quindi c'è qualcosa di simile.
En español se gitano e gypsy de egipcia.
Certo, in spagnolo lo zingaro, diciamo. E anche nell'opera di Verdi. Chi del gitano.
Eso.
I'm sure we could continue going out further for you here.
That is
Carrie.
really great though. I mean, and
So
we've gotten
Mary,
back
are you
to
still with us?
I'm here.
No, Mary Betancourt, are you still with us?
Yes, uh-huh. I'm here.
Can you tell me the name of your Italian grandparents?
Yes, Salvatore Monaco, which was changed to ICO upon arrival. So that's where I get very confused. And then Concetta Iacano.
Concetta Iacano, that's a familiar name, so I know
that's her.
Here we go. Okay, so which child do you come off of between Concetta and Salvatore? Which of these children?
Grace Marie.
Okay, and is that your grandmother or mother?
That's my mother.
Okay, so what was her husband's name?
Steve or Stephen with a P-H-E-N, Uzarski. U-Z-A-R-S-K-I.
You related to Barb Monaco?
So this is your dad then, Stephen?
Yes. It goes by Stephen, yes.
I think you're related to Barb Monaco.
I think you're related to me.
To who?
So this is what we have on your tree so far.
My family.
Let's add you. So
we have another match, another cousin.
Who?
I have a Grazia Monaco in my family tree.
Really?
Yeah, Grazia Monaco, which is of course it would be probably a namesake for Grace Monaco later on.
Maybe.
Grazia significa grace.
Which side, Jeremy?
Is above the Sequenzia side, Giuseppe Sequenzia, and then his which was Giuseppe would be the great grandfather. I'm sorry, great grandfather, and then his father was Salvatore Sequenzia, and then above him is Grazia Monaco and Giuseppe Sequenzia. So I have Grazia Monaco as deceased in 1842, but that's really not that long ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it now. Thanks.
The Petrozello in there.
Yeah. And then I have for Lucia Piccolo, I found two names. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm still new at this, but I found Francesco Piccolo.
How many little leaves?
And Maria Teresa Chiarico.
Maria Luisa Gallito.
So Jim doesn't show the parents of Lucia in here.
I don't know
she
how
may also be, I don't know if that's part of the black hole of death records or not, but
well, I don't know how I found them, but they popped up. So I'm still working. Like I said,
yeah, you have to kind of be careful sometimes. I always like to tie it to an actual record.
Okay.
So
This is pretty fun.
So when my question is, when the name change happens in the US, what name do I put on the tree? The US name or the Italian name?
Pretty much whatever you want to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
That's a
kind of a
good
personal
question.
preference thing in terms of the tree. Where it really starts to matter is if you were applying for dual citizenship, and then you'll have to provide all sorts of documentation to show that it's the same person.
Oh, okay.
But as far as how you show it in your tree, it's definitely kind of a personal preference thing. I kind of, you know, I kind of go with what Social Security had in their records as kind of their official name if they died in the US.
Okay.
Actually, you can use both. You can put like the Italian name and then the American name in parentheses.
Okay.
Like Giovanni, John, Salvatore, Sam, Alfio, Fred, etc.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. The only problem that it creates is when you're printing or viewing in the tree, if you have too many names, it'll sometimes make it difficult. So now let's see. So you are off of which one of these Iaconos?
Concetta. Yeah, see. Yeah.
Was Biagio Iacono born in 1908?
Which one? Biagio?
Was he born in about 1908? Does that sound possible?
Biagio.
This Biagio, her father is 1851.
That's what I have.
Then this would be a grandson, probably. That I have.
There might be a son here.
Who's Biagio's wife?
And this Lucia Piccolo.
Yeah, Lucia Piccolo.
Someone born in 1851.
Oh, God.
Lucia Piccolo, Biagio Iacono was born in 1851 or about.
I have one that was married to Annunziata Emanuele. That must be different.
Grazia?
Sounds like.
Grazia Emanuele?
Nunziata, like Nancy.
Nunziata, okay. Because I have Emanuele also.
I mean, in your family tree, there are a lot of matches. So it's super easy to keep going.
I know.
So this fellow says he died in 1912, but it doesn't say where. I wonder what's going on there. Jim, are you still with us?
I am here. I'm
you
looking
see
up
Torino, Monaco there?
Yes.
For some reason, we're missing a place of birth, or death, rather.
Yeah. Well, it's probably because I couldn't find the record that really said where he died.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't, and the about 1856 is something that I haven't gotten to yet. I'm only in 1831.
I have a handwritten chart from my aunt that said he might have died in a hospital in Messina, Cyrano.
Really?
That's what I have, a handwritten
Interesting
chart.
All right.
There's a little note there.
I'm going to put a little note here. Might have died in hospital in Messina,
Sicily. That's what they have here, Messina, Sicily.
And who made that note?
My aunt, she's no longer here. Nettie, my aunt Nettie, who's my mom's sister. I have this.
Bastiana?
Yes, I have this chart.
Poor guy. So he was there alone, or he went there to be cured and then?
I don't know.
You know what her Sebastiana Netti's maiden and married names are?
Her maiden would be Monaco with an I-C-O. And her married name was Belsky, B-E-L-S-K-Y.
That spelling was changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably an I originally.
I'm wondering.
That was an A originally.
Do you know where this man could be buried? Do you know his
no.
Where is his grave?
No, I do not.
So we could do a quick lookup on the deaths of Messina, I bet. Let's see here. Search card catalog Messina. See if Ancestry has it. They have 1866 to 1939. Wow. So browse. Messina. And where? Morty. These are all I got these. Morty. 1912. Okay, so there's 536. So let's go to the end, 536. Let's see if there's an index in the back. Of course not.
Oh.
We might have better luck on the Antonati. Well, this is different looking.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
This actually has the cause of death.
Oh.
Well, that's probably
pneumonia.
It says 1911. I thought we were supposed to be looking at 1912.
October.
Well, let's try the Portal. See what that has. Interesting. There's all these other place names here. I guess just click on that and see.
Oh, no.
Go to Morty. And wow, look at all those registers. We got to get the year in there. No, it doesn't have them.
What do you? 1912 wouldn't be in there.
Huh.
It would be under family search.
Okay, well, do that then. Family search.
Ragazzi, io vi saluto. Domani mi devo alzare presto.
Vai Silvana, tra poco vado anche io.
Buonanotte a tutti. Per noi buonanotte, per voi buon pomeriggio.
Buonanotte Silvana.
I go too. I walk the dog. Buonanotte. I'm going to walk the dog as well.
Ci vediamo la
My
prossima
day is not
settimana.
over. Ci vediamo la prossima settimana. Ciao Jeremy. Ciao a tutti.
Ciao a tutti.
Buonanotte.
Ciao.
Buonanotte
Ciao
a tutti.
Jeremy. Ciao.
Ciao.
Yeah, we'll just do this one. Kept too long.
Okay, so indexes. Let's see what that is. Nope, doesn't go far enough forward. 1911 and 1950, Tribunale. Let's see what this one has.
Wow.
No, 1950.
Wow.
Jim's salivating.
No.
Let's see, 1912.
That's out of scope. Thank goodness.
Sometimes they exaggerate.
Yeah, there's only 13 pages of records here.
Yeah.
They have Allegati di Morti. There we go.
I thought I saw 12.
Well, you got to get to the right record group.
Man.
The scene is a big place.
Yeah.
What does Allegati mean?
It just means attachments.
Oh.
When people are married, they create this folder that includes their birth records, and then if their parents are deceased, then they would need the death record of the father, and sometimes it would also include the death record of the grandfather as well.
Oh, wow.
So these are amazingly rich records.
Wow.
Or if a spouse, if they had a spouse that died, they would be in there also.
Right. They'd have the death record for the spouse that died.
Right.
So when we were talking about Sherry and Juicy's shared second great,
right.
Allegati for those marriages would be very rich.
Oh,
wow. I don't think there would be any because it was too late.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Is they
like
only
18,
go to a certain
goes
time
up to
period.
like maybe the mid 1880s, something like that.
Huh.
Okay, here we go. Morty, 1912. So now the question is,
go to the index. Just go all the way down.
So first of all, it says 8 November 1912. So let's keep that in mind.
Okay.
And you scroll until you see like a black. Well,
what year did we start off in?
1912 was the starting year. So this
okay,
section
well, it looks like there's an index right there.
Yeah, Indice.
Yeah.
And what was Trina's? He was a Monaco.
Monaco.
And these are the A's. A lot of blank pages to B's. So we're going to need to jump up ahead here. So this is probably C's, D's.
Usually you can see a break in there.
G.
Just hit the button till you get to M's.
There we go.
Did you hit the right one? Right at the beginning of it. All right. Now you got to get clear to the end of that.
You got a moniker, but it's Flavia.
Flavia, yeah.
Go on the right-hand column, and it should be near the end.
Towards the end.
Well, November. There is, what are we looking for? Monaco?
Yeah.
Yeah, Monaco, Torino. Not seen it.
Oh, Flavia.
There's Flavia. But
there's okay.
So this doesn't necessarily mean it's not there, because what you find in the larger cities is that they sometimes are organized by districts. And
well, thank you.
So this is, let's get up here and just take one and just look at it just to, okay, so this is part 2, series D as well.
Wow.
Usually in Carlentini and Lentini, we don't get past part 1. So this is like part 1, A, B, C, D, part 2, all the way to D.
Well,
so there's like
I think,
8 sections.
This is going to take you a while, Nick.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, though. Good try.
Yeah, they're in the death record for the war death. The war deaths are in a special category, all of them all. But you're in, it says that said 1909. Or was that the date? Okay,
No,
that's the form number.
Some sort of ordinance date.
Yeah.
The actual, this is 1912, September.
Yep.
Date of publication, December 28, 1912.
All right. That's
interesting,
the revision.
Because it's interesting because these end in September, I bet you.
Oh.
Is that right?
Yeah. See?
Well,
it might be in the next group.
Well, we'll go down to the next one, the first few records in the next one, and open it up and see what is in there.
This says 1913 now. That's not good. Part 1.
Well, it might be possible that they had some run from 1912 into 1913.
You were in part D.
Yeah, I was in part 2.
And that may have ended. That may have ended in September. So you got to find the end of part 1.
Yeah.
Which
anyway, it could be quite time consuming, and I need to sign off at this point.
I appreciate it.
I'm going to stop the share. We're down to 6 and a couple of empty screens here.
Thanks.
So
this was so wonderful. Thank you so much for the invite, and I hope I can be on again. I've learned a lot today, because I started with very little, so I learned a lot. So thank you.
Yeah, well,
Are you
You
on
can see
Ancestry?
there's records in a variety of different locations. There's records in people's trees. There's original records at the Portale Antonati, which we just got access to within the course of the last year.
Wow.
And then before that, we were reliant on Family Search and Ancestry.com for records.
As far as I can tell, Gary's been the only person besides me who's interested in our family tree very much, of the Gibilisco end of it, at least, and the Gaitas too. They pronounce it Gaeta in Omaha, but it's Gaeta in Italy. But so
yeah, you were showing off your Italian there. I was impressed.
Oh, we lived there from 2002 to 2009.
Oh, wow.
And
wow.
I spoke Italian very well. I worked with Italians, but I don't have a lot of contact with Italians since then. So this is also very nice for me to speak a little Italian and listen to some Italians. Oh, yeah.
You lived in Italy or Sicily?
Yeah, Italy. I lived in Gaeta. That was the first town we lived in that Silvana was talking about.
What part? That's in southern Italy?
It's between Rome and Naples on the coast. And then I lived in a little town that's known actually for the mob. It's called Casal di Principe. And I saw Silvana like roll her eye, like just look at me when I said that. And Pozzuoli, which is right next to Naples, and is Sophia Loren's hometown, where she still has a house. But so 7 years we lived there, attached to the military as civilians, basically.
Oh, nice.
The U.S. military. So yeah. So, but I worked with Italians. So we would trade off Italian and English, and I went to Lentini with my dad in 2003, and he had never been, so he was so excited, and his wife, and we didn't even take we just drove to Sicily. We didn't even have a map really, and like from Gaeta, which is pretty far north, almost by Rome. And just drove down to Sicily, like, let's find Lentini, let's see if we have any relatives, let's find Carlentini. Wow. And we couldn't find anybody. I think we found a couple of people in the cemetery, but Carlentini was closed it was just closed. The church was closed, everything was closed. So, he would have so loved this. He really would have been interested in it. He was thrilled to be there, but while we were there, well, had to cut it short because his mother died while we were in our trip to Sicily. So we had to come, we came back, but 87 years, and she died right then, but my poor dad. So anyway, but it was interesting. I would like to go to Lentini and Carlentini with some more knowledge now. Like, y'all were so lucky, like any of you who went. I was following now. It just like, I couldn't believe it. It was so wonderful.
I didn't have a chance to find any living relatives, but the cemetery, I mean, and I don't even live in Omaha, but it was just like the Omaha directory. Just walking through the cemetery. I mean, names I heard my mom speak and friends or.
Oh yeah.
Just so weird.
I'm related to the Sortinos, the pizza people, by marriage only, but that kind of thing. But yeah, so it was fascinating. We saw a lot of grave sites, but we didn't meet any people. We didn't meet hardly any people at all. So it was And my dad always thought he spoke Italian. He did not.
What was weird when we went, the people that were speaking Italian, they were saying a couple times like, oh, we don't use that word anymore. So it had evolved in Sicily, but Omaha was still speaking the older version of a certain word.
It was frozen in time in Omaha. So you guys have a treasure of Sicilian language there in Omaha that they don't even have hardly in Sicily.
Yeah,
anymore.
they never spoke. They spoke in front of me, but no one ever spoke it to me. But the cadence of it, I think growing up hearing people speak Sicilian languages helped me with the rhythm of learning Italian. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even though I didn't really know Italian, but yeah. So yeah, when we were in Sicily, I'm just like, please speak Italian, not Sicilian.
Oh, Sicilian.
Everybody has their own language. So yeah, when we lived in Casal di Principe, this little boy said, I speak 2 languages, Italian and Casalese.
Yeah. I think the Sicilian, they're afraid it's going to die out because the schools are going away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It will. Well, they kind of tried to kill it in Omaha. Nobody would speak it, you know, outside the little neighborhoods or the family. And then they all, my dad's generation, all married non-Sicilians, non-Italians. So yeah. So thank you all. That was really great. I hope you invite me again.
Yes.
It was a really wonderful meeting all of you.
Now that you're registered, you will get I send out a notification on Mondays.
Okay.
So you should check your email Monday. And usually I try to get it out in the morning, but sometimes events get a hold of me.
Well, thank you very much. And I'm really anxious to I'll see whatever Gary sends me and maybe try to get started on a little bit on my own. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, ciao tutti.
If either one of you come across any kind of documents or pictures that you would like me to add to our Italians of Omaha tree,
okay,
I would love to have those. So
yeah, I'm going to ask my cousins and that aren't really, you know, I didn't inherit anything from my parents. They all went to everyone else. So, but I think they've got boxes. So I'm going to have them really
that's the thing is you need to do a little attic archaeology with your cousins.
That's right.
And just tell them, hey, it's just like when I go into the forest, I leave only footprints and I take only pictures.
My cousin, I don't know if this
they get really possessive, you know, and if you say, hey, I just want pictures, okay, I'll just take pictures with my little camera phone here, and then maybe they'll, or bring like a young person. Somehow that opens the doors for these people. If you bring a young
I haven't been
person.
back to Omaha since my father's funeral in like 7 years ago. So
where are you again, Terry?
I'm outside of New Orleans.
Oh, New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We're still recovering from Ida, so I missed going to Omaha this summer for my great niece's graduation. But yeah.
So the last couple of years, our genealogy group has been having a semi-reunion at the Santa Lucia Festival.
Yes.
And,
I know. I watched it. I remember going to that when I was a kid, and you know, being at my Nana Lucille's house, and my Nana Lucia. Now I know her name was really Lucia. My Nana Lucia's house, and my dad grew up there, so I remember all that. But
well, the 100th is coming up in 2 years.
I might make that one.
So that I'm trying to
You're
get my family to, you know, try and do a family reunion too.
Very cool. Well, I think my family is partly your family, so.
I'll see you in Omaha.
It's Omaha, as we all learned. So, all right. Well, great. We'll see you.
All right, everyone.
Every week, Nick.
Every week. You know, I'll send an email if for some reason, like we canceled the 2 weeks when these guys were in Sicily.
Yeah. May I ask one more question? It's just a quick one. Given you just saw my tree there, is there any chance that I could get dual citizenship if I applied? Or is it, are they, my grandparents looks like we're both born in the US. Do anybody know about that?
One of the guys who's on our list, and Bob will be adding you to our list, and he sends it out on a periodic basis, but his name is Nick Gibelisco.
I know him.
Yeah.
He's my cousin. Okay.
So talk to Nick. Do you have his contact information?
I think I can get it from Gary, or I'll get it if you send me a list, and I can get it from you. So, you know, send me a list of everybody. So yeah. So I didn't know how far back. I just off the top of my head, somebody might know. But
send me an email and just say send me Nick's contact. I've got it. It's just
okay. Okay, I will. Thank you, Nick. I'll remember Nick. Nick, give me Nick's contact.
Yeah.
So.
There you go.
All right. Ciao a tutti, ci vediamo la settimana prossima. Next week.
Very good.
Ciao.
Ci vediamo la settimana prossima.
Next week.
Okay.
You can say prossima
We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Ciao.